those are my struts for my Lexus. They finally came in. And that brings me to today's topic for this video, because it's kind of come up on my radar, and the more I think about it, the more it doesn't make sense. So let's go for a drive and we're gonna talk about it. I mean, have we completely lost, I guess, the art at this point of maintaining our vehicles? And there's been a few things that's kind of brought this to mind, and I wanted to bring it up on the channel because I really thought it's something we could talk about and have a dialogue on, because it makes zero sense to me how people genuinely just don't even try to take care of their cars anymore. And I think there are levels to it, obviously. There are some people that they do at least do, you know, the general stuff. They do their oil, they do their tires, they do a couple other things, but they don't do much outside of that. Like, gone is the day of we're going on a trip and you take the car to get it inspected and really look it over and make sure there's nothing that's gonna go bad. You change your battery out on intervals. You do things like that. Like, we wait for stuff to fail before we start to prevent it, per se. And that's something that used to be normal. I mean, you would do an annual inspection and look over the vehicle and make sure if there's anything that's even going bad, you start to get ahead of it. And people just don't do that anymore. And this kind of came to mind for the video itself from a question from a subscriber that asked if I could tell you guys how I order from a dealer. I order parts directly from the manufacturer through specific dealers, and it helps you get a little bit of a discount. You usually get free shipping. There's a lot of benefits to doing it that way because it's a lot cheaper than calling and getting the price. So I'll have a tutorial about that here in the video here in a few minutes. But I did want to talk about this ahead of time and just try to understand it, because I don't get it. Like, I had a car come in the other day, and I work in automotive and I do a lot of service stuff, and we were looking at this vehicle, and it was raining, I genuinely could see my reflection in the tires. They were that bald. And when the customer was notified and told, they're like, no, it's fine. I don't know why you're recommending tires. Like, that makes no sense to me. And it wasn't a cheaper car either. I think it was a Chrysler 300, or a nicer one, but it was a newer one as well. So maybe $25,000, $30,000. I don't get why somebody would finance a vehicle and then, you know, drive cheapy tires all the way down to the wire, and it'd be dangerous for everybody that they're on the road with. And that's not exclusive to cheap cars and older cars. I mean, I see a lot of newer cars that come in. We had a BMW 4 Series a few months ago that came in that the girl had a warranty. She told me this. She just didn't have enough money to pay the like copay or deductible or whatever it is to get it fixed. And so since that was like $500, and she said she either didn't have it or didn't want to pay it, she was just gonna sell the car, completely abandon the car for this thing that would be covered under warranty for like an active grill shutter. That's all it was. It was a BMW with the active grills that open and close to heat and cool the car. And she just wasn't gonna get it fixed. It was a check engine light, it was that part. So she's gonna lose a ton of money just opposed to spending the $500 to fix the car. And I just I can't comprehend that. I don't understand that. And again, like, maybe that doesn't apply to older cars too. And I'm asking you guys too, because I want to see if this is the same thing around the country. This may just be a Mississippi problem. We are a little different down here than a lot of the rest of the country. So I really do want to know if that's like a nationwide thing, if that's a worldwide thing. So like, leave that in the comments. But there's this lost art and ability of just servicing and properly maintaining the car to the fullest degree. And I maybe I'm just more anal and weird about my cars than some people. I know that's true, but like, my Lexus I've done everything that I know to do on that car preventatively, except for the timing belt, because I believe it's already been done. I've already looked at it and inspected it, and it looks fine. But everything that I know to do to help make sure that car has been preventative and been done, like, I'm doing struts. That's why I showed you the struts in the beginning of the video. I'm doing struts that have not failed because I want it to be at that level of maintenance. I want it to be well taken care of. Same with this. That's why I'm doing a lot of things to this that don't necessarily have to be done, like the gear oil and things like that. Car drives great, but I want it to be at that level of just maintained and properly maintained for the next person down the line. I don't know if that's a cultural thing of how I was raised or how I've come as I've gotten older, but I did want to get your guys' take. Like, do you guys maintain your cars? Like, do you just do the oil changes? I see a ton of people with nice cars, with luxury cars, that they may not even do an oil change. I saw a video the other day of a Honda CRV, brand new one, that they give you complimentary oil changes on that car. And this person had gone 19,000 miles since changing their oil. This is the first oil change at 19,000 miles. They'd never gotten one done. And it was already sludged up and gross and dirty. And why? Like, why do we do that if it's complimentary? So that's the topic for today. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree. But I'm gonna drop this tutorial real quick as well about how I order dealer parts a bit cheaper, and also how you can save some money and find that for yourself. So I really need a studio at this point, but I'm here hanging in my office, soon to be daughter's room. But for the parts, I called the parts department in Lexus New Orleans to see how different the pricing would be. My method that I've been doing for a while that I know gives me a discount versus actually calling the dealer. So I put my money where the mouth is. You can call if you want to, but this is the price that I would have paid if I ordered from Lexus of Mobile or Lexus of New Orleans, and they would not ship it to my house. So we're going to pop right into this website. All you got to do for any manufacturer is usually just look up parts at Lexus or parts at Volkswagen or whatever you want to look for. You'll punch in your model, your VIN. I've got mine saved, so it's really easy for me to find. And for example, I'm looking for those struts, right? So you can go to brakes and suspension, you go through, you find the assembly that you need. I'll skip that portion and get there. So here is the assembly page. All I'm looking for is the actual shock absorber. The coils and everything are fine. The pads are fine. They usually come with the bushings that you need. So I don't need anything else from this assembly. I just know I need the one specific part. So when you go to get a diagnosis, you can ask, what part do I need? And they can maybe even give you a part number, which is what I did. So I knew exactly what part number I was looking for. I could go find it. So before you get to scroll it, make sure you put in like your local zip code. You can see that, and you can select the dealer. And I would actually recommend you pricing a couple of different dealers, because the pricing will actually be different depending on where you order from. So when they run different specials, they have different levels of markup, and it makes it a lot easier for you to find one that's a good price. And there you go on the screen, $161.68. The original price that I would have paid if I ordered from Mobile or from New Orleans was $370 after tax and everything, and I had to go pick it up. They will ship this to me for free because it's over $100. I got both struts for less than $400 and would have paid almost $800 for the original order from New Orleans. And you can do this with nearly any part. I always recommend you pricing them around. And again, I could switch dealers. So if I wanted to switch, if I wanted to switch dealers, I could go back to that first page, and let's say I want to quote from New Orleans instead, or LeBlanc or whatever else. I can go back to the same part, or I can type in the part number once you find it once. And again, I'm looking for the non-sport package one for me. It's $184 from Lexus of New Orleans. It was $160 something from Mobile. And that's a super easy way to order from the dealer. This is a genuine Toyota part for an 04 Lexus, because they still have a lot of support worldwide for these things. And I don't have to worry about it being non-fitting. It's the right part number. It's OEM, and it's way, way cheaper than going to the dealer. And even if you buy this, you might can actually go and get the dealer to install it for you, where you still get that dealer service, but you don't have to worry about the price. So I hope that helps you guys. That's what I do on a ton of my vehicles. I've ordered a ton of parts this way. The only other way that I really order parts is through like Advance, where I can get a decent OEM-ish part that's aftermarket. Or if I really want OEM and I don't want to pay the full sticker price, I'll look at maybe an eBay Motors to get parts at a discount that may have a warranty as well. So hope that helps. Look, there's nothing wrong with that dealer. I've worked with Lexus New Orleans in the past. They're great people. I don't have a problem with them all. Lexus in general tends to have very good service departments, very good sales departments. They have a high standard for their brand. But you can get that OEM part for a lot cheaper just by doing a little bit of research on your own. And what happens is the dealer can get the part and they can mark it up, I think up to 100% over what the retail is. So you can even just shop around with different dealers, spend a little extra time, order it, whatever, and get it a lot cheaper. And I'm able to get these ordered directly from Toyota. They're Toyota sourced parts. Mine were ordered through Spring Hill Toyota out of Lexus and Mobile. I got free shipping straight to my home address, and they were here within a week. So big difference for you guys. You can pretty much order anything, even for older cars, again, that's for a 2004 Lexus LS430, right off the internet, brand new from Toyota, if you do it the right way. Obviously, there's going to be some parts that are not available. My Jetta mirror that I have to replace is one of those that does not exist anymore. You have to order it aftermarket. But if you can get the OEM part, and a lot of manufacturers do continue to maintain and build those because they build them worldwide, you can still get support for it and get a pretty nice discount. I think mine was almost $300 off from the price he quoted me. I'll have to watch it back, and I hope that it grabbed that audio. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoy it. I do have a review planned next week for us to watch and hang out together. And then I also am going to start doing some of the fun stuff on the Jetta as those parts come in. So feel free to enjoy that. If there's anything else you guys want to see, anything guys you want to say, make sure you leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good one.